Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Assume that you have a string tied to a stone. When you whirl the string, you can sense a force on the stone that tends to move it away from the center. This force exerted by the stone on the string is known as the centrifugal force. Centrifugal pumps, centrifugal governors, and some other devices use centrifugal force for their operation. You may be aware of that. But have you ever heard of a clutch that works on centrifugal force? Well, this video is about the centrifugal clutch. We'll be discussing the construction, working, applications, advantages and disadvantages of the centrifugal clutch. So let's get into the topic. A centrifugal clutch is an automatic clutch that is controlled by the engine speed by means of the gas pedal. Here, centrifugal force plays a pivotal role in the clutching operation. To know how exactly the clutch works, we must know its construction. A simple centrifugal clutch consists of two members. One is a driving member connected to the shaft from the engine, and the other is the driven member connected with the shaft with transmission. The driven member looks like a drum and has friction lining on its inner surface. The driven member encloses the driving member. The driving member is provided with a spider and clutch shoes. The shoes have friction lining on their outer end and they are connected to the driving shaft with the springs at the inner end. The spider acts as the guideway for the shoes and the springs exerts radially inward forces on the shoes. Well, that's about the construction of the centrifugal clutch. Now, let's see how the system works. When the engine rotates, the shaft connected to the engine rotates the driving member. The driving member rotates with the spider and shoes as a single unit. Now, the mass of the shoes exert a centrifugal force and they tend to move away from the center, but the springs hold them in its position. As the speed of the engine increases, the centrifugal force increases and exceeds the spring force. Thus, the shoes move away from the center. When the predetermined engine speed is reached, the shoes press against the inner surface of the driven member. This makes the driven member rotate because of the friction between them. Thus, the clutch engages automatically at the predetermined speed. Next, when the engine speed decreases, the centrifugal force decreases as well. At this time, the springs tend to bring back the shoes to their initial position, resulting in the disengagement of the clutch. This is how the centrifugal clutch works. Centrifugal clutches are commonly used in scooters, mopeds, go-karts, and lawnmowers. The centrifugal clutches are automatic and they don't need a clutch pedal for operation. The construction is also simple and it requires less maintenance. But there is a possibility of slips which may result in power loss. Overheating is also a problem in centrifugal clutches. Well, that's all about the centrifugal clutches. We'll meet up again in the next one. Until then, bye.